Hello. Look at the men hard at work. That's Luigi in the background there. That's as close as we get down here at the allotment. He's just doing the last bit of strimming. Everyone's doing a tidy up and everything's starting to look lovely. This lovely spring weather. It's quite windy down here, so I hope you can hear me alright. I'm wearing my microphone with what we affectionately call the dead cat on it, which stops the wind. I'm just doing a little bit of sowing. This here is what we refer to as our ladder allotment. It's very handy. Takes up a little bit of floor space, but you get three good, let's move my shadow, 3 good troughs on it. And we've got some nice big ones from Grandma. And I've sown in here some carrots, and I'm just going to sprinkle some compost over the top of them. We do prefer growing carrots in troughs because they tend to come out nice and straight and easy to pull up. Last year we did grow some in Rose's raised bed over there, but the ground is quite, the soil is quite stony, it's quite deep, and they were quite hard to get out. And in fact, while she's been weeding, we found a couple of nightbird that were left from last year. So yeah, so I haven't filled this all the way to the top because, as you can see, they're quite deep. I was going to sow some more nightbird in here. That's these ones. They're very nice carrot, and a good grow rate on those. But I only had 3 seeds left in the packet, so I've put those 3 up there. And the ones I have put in here are purple haze. And these, I don't think we've grown this variety before. We've grown some rainbow ones before, a rainbow mix. So this is a new one for us. And I showed Rose this. Look, we got a free label. She said, oh, Johnson's always come with a free label. Well, spot the mistake. It doesn't show you, it doesn't tell you what you're going to plant. So I've just written on the back, purple haze. I'll know that they're carrots because I usually sow carrots in these. And I've got, look, some in the greenhouse there. They can come out. Those were our overwintered, I think I planted them in about December and put them in the greenhouse. They are early nonce, and we've had a good crop of those already. And in fact, we had some out of this one, which is now, as soon as we emptied it, I planted some more, and we've got these to be harvested next. Those ones are just coming up. I'm not sure if you can see inside the greenhouse. Let's put my shadow over it. Can you see? No. There are some coming up, and we've got some at home which are in between the two. So we are successional sowing our carrots. And what I'm going to be doing this year is I'm going to be, for the first time, trying to preserve carrots with a water bath. And so we shall see how that goes. I'm going to choose small ones that fit into a jar and just see how that goes. I've joined a group on Facebook for advice and things, so hopefully that'll be a good way of preserving our carrots, and then we will have them all year round. I mean, carrots are pretty good anyway. We've been having them Rose making shadows. We've been having them really since February. We've been harvesting them, so this will just fill in the hungry gap when the carrots stop producing late autumn. But I'm very pleased with the ones that have grown over the winter in the greenhouse, so we will definitely be doing that again as well. Okay, that's them watered in. Oh, here comes Rose. What have you got, Rose?
There's some forget-me-nots for you.
Oh, look! Beautiful. Hey, let's put them on here next to the carrots. Oh, they look lovely. I love forget-me-nots. Thank you very much, my darling.
I've even watered them.
Oh, that's good. They'll like a good drink. Very nice. Oh, that's freesias and forget-me-nots you've given me. How lovely. Oh, thank you very much, darling. Wanted to do a quick bit of sowing in the greenhouse. The first thing I'm going to sow is, sorry, I say a lot, don't I? Some basil. So pop that there. Basil seeds are tiny. So I'm not entirely sure if I can do this with one hand. I'm just going to sprinkle them on the top. Spread them out a bit. The smaller that, when you're planting, the smaller the seeds, the higher up they need to go. So if you've got some big seeds, they do need to go down quite deep. But as you saw, the basil seeds are tiny. So I shall just give them a little covering of compost. There we go, just a light sprinkling, not very much. And that'll be watered in. Just pop the rest on there. Right, so that's our basil. Put a label in that, because I'm bound to forget otherwise what's in there. We always have a mystery plant every year. I think a lot of gardeners do. It's not a good season unless you're not growing a mystery plant of some description. This row's running by. Right, I now have my glamorous assistant with me. And for the next thing we're going to plant in here is our Halloween pumpkins. Now these are quite big seeds, and these need to go about 1 inch deep. And I've brought with me my special portable dibber this time round. Here it is. See, you got one of those. And we're just going, they need to go about 1 inch. So I shall just make 3 holes about 1 inch. Because we've got 3 seeds left. In they go. And we cover them up. Thank you, glamorous assistant. And pop the label in. Although we usually have a squash is one of the, we grow a lot of varieties of squash. We really love eating it, and it's usually one of the mystery plants. There she goes. Usually one of the mystery plants that we have that we're not sure what the seeds are, because I think, oh, we'll save these seeds and grow them again next year, and I think I won't forget what they are. And guess what? I do. Come the next year and I find a little pot of seeds. I think, well, I must have liked them to save them. Let's stick them in the ground and see what comes up. So anyway, that's those on. And next we are going to plant some stuff into Rosie's raised bed. Right, I've put a little light layer of compost on Rosie's bed here. And I don't know if you can just see, I've put 2 rows of spinach in there, and she's just getting me some more compost to cover those up with. We like spinach, and we discovered in this bed last year the rabbits didn't come over and eat anything, so so that was good. That side of the bed still needs weeding, as you can see, but this one she's done a good job of. So we're going to get some stuff in there as soon as we can. Let's go and get that compost. Okay, I've put a bit more compost, and a 3rd row in I've put some rainbow chard in. Now I think if we pick this young, we'll be able to use it like spinach. We really like spinach and ricotta lasagna. It's one of Rosie's favourites. Nick and Rose aren't vegetarian, I am. And it's a nice meal that we all like. So they're all just resting on the surface now. So what I'm going to do, very technical, is I'm just going to shake some compost over the top. and cover them up this way. I see quite a lot of new people, and they're asking how do they, these are people that have never grown anything, and they ask the most basic questions, and they're after help. How do I grow carrots? Really easy things to grow, and sometimes the answers are so complicated, and I think, well, that's really going to put people off growing. I mean, there's advice, to help people, and then there's expert level gardening, which that's for people to get into. Don't put them off too early. At the end of the day, these are going to grow, and as you can see, there's nothing too technical, nothing extra going in here. The soil that was here already, I'm going to put a bit more compost on the chard. It does say bury 2 centimetres, so I will put another layer on top. So have a look at the packets, do follow the guidelines. As I said earlier, the smaller the seed, the less deep it needs to be. The chard seeds are quite big, about half the size of a pea, I'd say, a chard seed. So a lot bigger than, say, a carrot seed, which is quite small. The ground underneath this, although it looks grey and horrible, this had a good topping of compost last year, so it's actually not too bad, and everything grew in it quite well. So this compost that we're putting in will do a really good job of putting more nutrients into the soil and helping those seeds. So I'm just going to go and get some more compost to put on the top of those, and then we're done with these. Rose testing her little girl muscles. We're pulling up the purple sprouting. Yay!
Right, now carry all of these, Rose, all of these to the big compost. No, not over your head, you get dirt all down your neck.
Oh, she'll have a bath later anyway. But, yeah, so we've decided. I was going to weed this next, put our paving slabs here, and this was a lot less weedy. So we are going to put our potatoes in here. He's made a good start on the onions. We can actually see some of the onions now. That's good. And there's not many weeds here to clear. So once he's done that, we can get our potatoes in. This is our little dumping, well, kind of big dumping ground we've got at the allotment. We are getting rid of it, but at the moment, when underneath, it's been here for years, underneath there's going to be some really nice compost, I should imagine. But I've just noticed these little white bells, aren't they pretty? That's what this green leaf is growing up here. If that's what those are, they're really sweet. We could dig them up. Something I'm looking at all the stinging nettles here. I was thinking now's the time of year for young stinging nettles. We might be a little bit late, but if we just pick the tips, we could make some stinging nettle soup. Might give that a go. Have a quick look up a recipe and see how much we need. Now this is how you dig potatoes. We have cleared our brassicas, and Nick's done some weeding. I've just dug a little divot so that the potatoes can stand up, and Nick is now covering them up with some grass. You can use hay or straw or your grass clippings, and he's just covering them up. You can also use compost, but we don't have enough of that at the moment, so we're just using this.
It's really steaming in that compost juice.
Nick's just saying how warm the grass is as it's starting to decompose. Now this should be okay. It looks quite green on the camera, but it has died back quite a bit. You don't really want to use fresh on top of the foliage when it breaks through. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this row, and I'm going to put one more row in. It's so quick and easy, much better than digging out a trench. And then we shall put a net over, as it's quite windy down here, to stop the grass from blowing away. Right, we have done one entire row, and we've got a few left. And excuse my hands. I'm using this egg box as a spacer. You need about a foot in between. And I've just remembered that on Little Farmer's Farm, he had a visitor. He called Secret Steve. And he was doubling up the potatoes. So you can see what I'm doing here. Just a little twist, just so that I can pop them eye up. Actually, I suppose I can go like that. Yeah, he was doubling up on the potatoes. I think he said that's what they used to do during the war. So I'm going to do one hole, little dip either side of this. Well, I've got quite a few. The grass is decomposing. Yes, Rosie's noticing how warm the grass is. I've seen a few people do it with the grass, the potatoes like this. And you can, as I said, you can use hay or straw, whatever you've got. And some people questioning about seeds. Are you just putting grass seed down? Well, this early, the grass hasn't gone to seed, so we're not actually putting any grass seed onto the dirt yet. Further down the line you could, look out for that, but the answer is just to keep mulching, and as it breaks down you don't get the grass growing, but you get the benefits. Let's get some more potatoes. And then when you go, because potatoes grow upwards of the seed, so you don't need to worry about having to dig down. It's fairly hard, this ground, so you won't need to dig down, but so you just fertile around and get your potatoes after you're done. So we've got one row of single potatoes and one row of double, so it'll be very interesting to see how they do. Right, that's the second row in. It's just covering them up with grass. It's nice and warm. Rose stuck her hand in the compost bin. It's only grass clippings in there. But, she said it was very warm. That's how to kill off weeds, of weed seeds. A hot bin. Not that ours is a hot bin. Just all the grass in there. And we have had a warm couple of days. So I shall let Nick finish that off, and then we'll show you once we have covered it with the net. There we go, nicely covered up, just to stop it from blowing away. And then when that's decomposed down a bit, we can take that off. Now it's time to go home and update our database. On the way, we're just going to stop at a neighbour, Christine, and drop her off some food. We've got some Brussels sprouts, some spring onions and some rhubarb for her. So we won't be going near her. We will just drop them at her front door and run away. So hope you enjoy them, Christine, if you see this. See you at home. Right, here we are at home. I'm not sure if this screen will be okay on the video. This is directly from my laptop. It can be a bit flashy. So I've just put in my seeds. I've dropped the rainbow chard packet somewhere. So this is what we've grown today, and I've popped them on our database so we can see. And I like this because at a glance we can see that there's nothing on the callaloo. I haven't planted the callaloo out. I've got some French beans there, some old seeds that my dad gave me that I've not planted, I think. But I have planted some other French beans there, some Boston. The kohlrabi hasn't gone in yet, which is great. At a glance we can see it. Now you can see I've done some leeks from Grandad. They're the ones that we're pulling up now. I've put leeks in there because I do want to grow some more soon. And we've got other lettuces here that we've not sown yet, but I do have some all the year round that are going on. Rose keeps eating the baby leaves. She's enjoying those. Okay, I shall stop it from there. Just wanted to give you a quick update on our database and show you if you've not seen it before. So we shall say goodbye to you. I hope you're all staying well. Stay safe, stay indoors, and stay away from other people. Take care. See you soon.